to episode 59 of All the Books, the official podcast of the David A. Howe Public Library. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Today we're going to be talking about our old friend, going to be a new friend, I guess, to us, Alexander McCall Smith.
Yeah.
He's coming here October 20th, so we're prepping for that by talking a little bit about his works and his life.
Sure.
But not yet.
No.
Up front, we're going to talk about some other stuff.
Sure.
Hilarity may or may not ensue.
Probably not.
Really depends.
No.
But before we begin, let's do an old tradition here.
Yeah.
Pop open the old Cokes.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so my Coke.
That goes down smooth.
My Coca-Cola says, it's getting hot in here. It's a share a Coke and a song. So mine says it's getting hot in here. Okay. Yours says...
copyright 2015, the Coca-Cola Company, consumer information.
Oh, boy.
Is that right?
That's a boring Coke.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. All Coke is great.
No. Okay.
Coca-Cola. If you need a bolt from a neighbor, I guess I meant jolt.
Yeah.
But I said bolt.
A bolt.
So now I'm thinking
well, it's good for the Halloween episode. It's like Frankenstein.
Yeah, if you need a bolt from a neighbor, bring him a Coke.
Bring him a Coke.
He'll trade you a bolt.
It's a barter system.
Jeez. Or if you need to bolt away from your neighbor because you just stole his toolbox.
That's right.
Drink a Coke. It'll give you the energy to keep going for a while.
It sure will. Man, you'd think they were our corporate sponsor, but they're not in any way. This is all free.
No one sponsors us.
We're really
I wouldn't even say the library sponsors us.
Hey, that's not true.
Oh.
They love us. We just won an award. Remember?
Who?
The Southern Tier Library
That's
System.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Well, early on in the run, Eric used to buy us a Coke every episode to get us jazzed and going.
Yeah.
He stopped.
Yeah.
But I thought today, it's rainy, it's cold, it's dreary.
Yeah.
We need a little liquid
courage.
Happiness. Yep.
Oh,
courage.
happiness.
So anyway, let's open up the old books, check on the bookmarks.
My Coke expires November 28th,
Oh
2016.
my gosh, you gotta drink that quickly. Mine does too.
That's
crazy.
Weird.
Anyway, we're gonna open up the old books, check out the bookmarks, see what we've been reading.
Check out the old books.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
All right, hit me, Eric. What do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah.
Well, Lovin'. It's what I've got. That's a song. I'm sorry. Nick has stepped away from the microphone, and I don't know what to do.
I was just grabbing my notebook.
Okay, you left me quoting songs I don't know all the words to.
I asked you what you've been reading. That was all you.
You're right. All right. Gosh, I don't know. What was the last thing I talked about? Was it Superior Iron Man?
Oh, boy. I don't know.
All right. So I read Superior Iron Man Volume 1 and Superior Iron Man Volume 2 by Tom Taylor. That does complete it. So it was frustrating because what happened was Iron Man, Tony Stark, he was hit by this Axis wave that caused certain villains in the Marvel Universe to gain a conscience and become, like, good.
Wow.
And certain villains to lose their conscience and become bad.
Heroes.
Heroes lost their conscience and became bad.
Role reversal.
Iron Man was one of the ones who got hit and became like his evil self. But when everybody fixed it, some villains, such as Sabretooth, were kept as good, and some heroes, just Iron Man, was left still evil. So this series is about evil Iron Man. However, it ends with nothing resolved. Just like, you're a bad person, Iron Man, and you're going to be unhappy. And he's like, oh, but I'm still bad. And then Marvel has their big event, Secret Wars, come and just erase all that. And then what takes place, which I also read, is Invincible Iron Man by Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, I've read that.
Yeah, and you didn't get any hint that he was ever...
No.
Yeah.
No.
So they just completely... It's just one of those, like... It's almost like a what-if story now. Because nothing...
What if Iron Man was evil and stayed evil?
I read Huck by Mark Millar.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it, I think, more than you.
Okay.
I felt like...
The new adult graphic novel in our collection here.
About a guy who's super strong and does a good deed.
He's a
every
tracker.
day.
Tracker.
Yeah.
That's key.
He's also a tracker.
Yeah.
So I liked it. It felt kind of like a modern version of 1940s Superman.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
yeah, it had the look. Had a classic look to it.
So had an Americana feel to it. I read Star Wars Volume 3 and Darth Vader Volume 3. Star Wars is fine. Darth Vader is great.
Okay.
I love the Vader comics.
Yeah.
And I realized that the next volume is the last volume. And that makes me super sad.
It is sad.
So
easy for us to collect, though.
Yeah.
We'll have a complete Vader set.
Sure. Awesome. I just like it. It finds a way to balance off, like, making Vader a force so you can tell other stories, but also providing enough, like, character insights into Vader. So it's interesting. And I realized, it was this volume I realized that this is a Vader this is the Darth Vader that takes place right after Episode 4. So he's, like, at the bottom of the totem pole right now in terms of, like, importance to the Emperor, because he just let the Death Star get blown up.
Right.
By
teenagers,
essentially. By one teenager, really, too. So he's been like proving himself again, regaining his rank. So now that I've seen that, I'm like, I'm so excited. So, and I read the book 8 Rivers of Shadow, not 8 Days of Summer, which is the sequel to the First Days of Autumn.
Right.
So,
your original book.
My original book about the girl named Autumn who falls in love with a blind farmer boy.
Yeah.
So,
that's a great.
8 Rivers of Shadow. It's the sequel to 13 Days of Midnight.
Okay. And this is a YA.
This is a YA.
A spooky YA series.
Spooky YA. He's a necromancer, the main character.
Okay.
He's a reluctant
And that means he's in love with people's necks.
No, that means he can. His magic involves dead.
The necks.
The dead.
Of the dead.
The dead people.
Dead people.
Okay. Like ghosts and everything.
Yeah.
And my problem with this book was the first book I liked a lot. The character was reluctant. He's like, I don't want to be a necromancer. And he doesn't know how to do any of that stuff. So when he's put in this situation, he's out of his elements. In this one, it's the same stuff, and he still doesn't know how to do anything.
That's frustrating.
And it's frustrating because he read this book called The Book of 8, which...
the character in the book read a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was supposed to teach him all this magic and everything.
Okay.
But he just doesn't use any of it. And so it's not until the last act of the book that he starts taking charge and using it. And the world building in this book is so cool.
Okay.
All the ancient magic and the necromancers and the way they interact with each other, the way they bind ghosts to them and everything. It's all so cool, but this character is the only person I think who doesn't think it's cool. And so it's frustrating because I just want him to be active in it. I want him to try to learn stuff and
and he doesn't.
And I want him to stop complaining about it. I'm just so sick
of it. Is it a trilogy or is this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, there's probably going to be more if it does well, but it's very frustrating because nothing's worse than a what do you call them? A lazy protagonist? He's not lazy.
Oh.
I just reluctant. I just don't want a reluctant protagonist.
I see. That makes sense.
At this point now. It's can we pay attention to the people who are having fun in this world?
Right.
Anyway, I read 2 Alexander McCall Smith books, but
Ooh.
we'll save those for later.
We'll
Right now I'm reading Frankenstein by Odd Thomas.
No.
Odd Frankenstein by Dr. Frankenstein.
No, you're getting it all wrong.
I'm reading Prodigal Son by Dean Koontz.
That's a subtitle. Okay.
Yeah. I'm reading Dean Koontz' Frankenstein #1, Prodigal Son by Dean Koontz.
That's for the Page Turners Book Club. Eric's going to be joining the book club for our Halloween book.
I like to think they're joining me.
I do too.
So
were you there for Salem's Lot? I can't remember. Did you come last year?
I read it, but I wasn't there.
You didn't come for the book club. Okay. So this is your first time joining us for Halloween book club. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the... I haven't started it yet, but I can tell you that Odd Thomas, when we did a couple years ago, was...
You hated it.
I hated it, yeah.
1 star.
Yeah, a couple people liked it, and a couple people hated it. There was nobody who was like, it was okay.
Right.
But I'm told that Odd Thomas is different and that Frankenstein is good. So I don't know. Jessica, who works here, who will also be joining us for the book club, as we've mentioned, is a fanatic. She loves him. So she's rereading Frankenstein now, so she'll be ready to dig in and discuss. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't started it yet, but how deep are you into it?
I haven't started it.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
That's your next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Nice. Yeah, we just got a couple of our copies came in. You can see them right on my shelf there.
Yes.
Yeah. There's not very many copies, so we got to read.
I'm going to read mine as quickly as I can, man. Get off my case.
No, I understand.
Oh, you do this all the time.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm not going to be like this anymore.
That'd be great. Unlikely, but great. So is that all? Me?
It's on to you now, man.
Okay.
You got to carry the weight.
I think I can do it.
You got to carry the show.
Here's what I finished.
I'm leaving.
I finished
See
the
ya.
great. No, you got to stay.
Okay.
The Great Cake Mystery by Alexander McCall Smith.
Stop spoilers.
Which we'll discuss later.
Sure will.
And I read the graphic novel Twilight Children, one of the last illustrated by Darwin Cook, who passed away recently.
Right. And this was the continued story of Bella and Edward.
The Twilight, the Stephanie Meyer Twilight
after
saga.
their children.
You got to buy that gender role reversal copy of Twilight.
The problem with it is that they don't sell it separate.
I know.
You have to buy a double, so you get Twilight and then the gender reverse Twilight.
So for those of you who don't
$17.
know, Stephanie Meyer gender swapped the roles in Twilight and released it as what's it called, Life and Death?
Yeah, something like that.
So it's got a green apple on the cover.
Yeah, somebody was like, so is green the opposite gender of a red apple?
It's a green, yeah. So anyway, it's still Twilight. It's the same basic story, but the genders are all reversed. So
if you had to guess, red apple is what? Male or female?
Well, I guess there's got to be a lady compared to the
green apple is then the male.
the green M&M is a lady.
Oh.
So that's confusing right there.
Sure
you
is.
never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a role reversal of Twilight, but the only way to get it is in a giant hardcover with the
Yeah.
original Twilight.
So if you already own Twilight, you don't need it.
It's not helpful.
One would say you don't need it anyway.
No, completely unnecessary.
So.
It's kind of a new trend, I guess, that started.
Combining books?
Well, no, you had the same. I guess it's not quite the same. But,
Gender reversing?
like 50 Shades of Grey, she did the same thing where she took, well, not the same thing, but she took it from the other character's perspective.
Right.
So it's just a different perspective of the same story. It's kind of the same. I don't know. I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah.
It should be in a bookshop form, I
If
guess.
Tolkien was alive, I'm sure J.R. Tolkien would
He'd be
gender reversing the Lord of the Rings. Be a whole bunch of female hobbits. I guess the whole fellowship would be female then.
I think so.
A bunch of lady fellowship.
Yeah. You'd watch it. Don't
Yeah,
pretend like
it would.
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
Yeah. Anything for more of that, I think.
An elderly lady wizard?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, back to the Twilight Children. It's just a standalone graphic novel, and the art's cool. It's the story's good.
Yeah.
And then it just like ends.
Well,
And none of the intriguing mysteries are resolved.
Darwin Cook passed away.
No, I know that.
Okay.
None of the mystery. I mean, it has an ending within the book, but
Oh.
it doesn't answer any questions.
Okay.
And so I thought, like, did I miss something? I looked online, and like every review was almost exactly the same as mine. It was like it was really great, and then just done. So weird. So we have it in the adult graphics collection. So if you want to check that out and see if you see something that I don't, but I was left hanging by the end, and there is no more. It's done. Currently reading, not really any changes there. I'm getting through Pet Sematary pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This wasn't high on my list of Stephen King books to read. I probably wouldn't be reading it if not for you.
Yeah. I'm not even reading it right now.
I know.
I'm going to, though.
I know you will.
Come now.
But I'm liking it. It's good. I'm more
Nice.
than halfway through, and it's taken a turn that I knew it was going to take, but I really hoped that I was wrong,
Sure.
and I'm not.
So you're scared.
It's starting to get a little. I've already I don't read it before bed.
Sure.
Not because it's terrifying, but
Yeah.
it's just sort of disturbing, and I don't want to get it.
After
right,
all,
so.
your 2-year-old son does hear little people in the walls.
That's true. He has claimed that before, so I don't want to mess with that. But
Yeah.
Pet Sematary is not a book club or anything. Eric and I are both just reading it after years
Yeah.
of putting it off.
It's a bro book club.
Yeah, so that's right. A book club of 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think I've had here before. Just me and somebody else.
Yeah. So book club of 2 also sounds like a good book.
It does.
So
Yeah, I like it.
maybe Autumn has like a best friend she makes, and then like that best friend
It
has a spin-off series.
It has 2 in the title.
Yeah.
First, and then the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's Janet Ivanovich style, right?
Yeah,
there,
that's true.
Each one.
Yeah.
I'm also reading Emma by Alexander McCall Smith.
Yeah.
I'm having some trouble with this one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. And here's why. The whole purpose of this, it's part of this Austen project where different authors are rewriting Jane Austen books, modernizing them. The thing is, Alexander McCall Smith has a very old-fashioned writing style,
Yeah, he does.
purposely so.
Yeah.
And so this doesn't feel... I mean, every once in a while they'll say, like, magazine or camera or something.
Right.
But other than that, it does not feel modern to me at all. There was mention of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but
Gasp.
But the whole thing just feels... It doesn't feel like an update. So... now I'm just kind of wishing that I was just reading Emma by
So
Jane
not
Austen,
sexy enough.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I just want her to be like taking selfies and be
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel modernized, which I think was sort of the whole point. So
Right. All right.
I don't know. We'll see what the book club thinks.
Okay.
It's got pretty mixed reviews. I think Emma purists are like, how dare you do this? And some people who are just approaching it blind are like, okay. So we'll see what the club says. I'm currently reading Wolverine Enemy of the State. This is new in our graphic novel collection.
Not new
So that's what I'm-
in the world of graphic novels.
Well, I didn't say that, did I?
No. I don't remember when this came out. I read it in single issue form. I was buying the issues monthly.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, after Enemy of the State, after all that, it goes into Wolverine Civil War.
Okay.
So that's where that is. So I guess that's 2006.
Yeah.
So
All right.
what happens
So I'm
is
10 years behind. Don't
Yeah.
tell me.
Well, have you started it?
Yeah. I just finished. Also, I've read all of the Pete the Cat books by James Dean to my son.
Congrats.
He loves them.
Yeah.
We've been going through them. Like I'm trying to slow. Now we've read them all. Not that he would care if I went back and started rereading them, but I care.
Yeah, sure.
So it was sort of sad to get that done. Pete
Okay.
the Cat is fun. Yeah, have you seen the books in the kids' room
Probably.
or anything?
Yeah.
It's just it's real like loose watercolor drawings, and he's just kind of a laid back.
Yeah.
I see why they're popular.
Okay.
They're fun. So we read that.
Nice.
Anyway,
Splat the Cat. He's
up?
popular.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
Did you make that up?
No, Splat the Cat's a real picture book series.
Really?
It's just a cat that looks kind of frazzled,
Huh.
has adventures. Splat the Cat, like, falls off a ladder or something. I don't know.
Wow.
He shouldn't be on that ladder in the first place.
No, he shouldn't. What's he doing?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it for me and my bookmark. So
Yeah.
we can close that up.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, goodbye.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry I was so loud right there.
That's okay.
I'm looking at the waveform right now, and that was rough on our listeners.
I understand. Hey, I also this is the year of page to screen adaptations, as we've discussed at length.
Sure.
But I started 11/22/63, starring
The show.
James Franco.
Yeah.
Based on the book by Stephen
Yeah.
King. I love the book, and so far I'm really digging the.
How many episodes are you in?
I think we're just in the second,
Okay.
so we're not too far into
Yeah.
it. But
Jimmy
the
Franks.
pilot was really good. I thought.
It was a good
I don't know if
pilot.
you'd call it a pilot if it's a miniseries, but
Yeah.
the first episode
Yeah.
was good.
Okay.
You watched the whole series?
Yeah.
And you liked it?
I did.
Did it make you want to read the book, or you're okay with it?
I think I might be okay. I know the book's supposed to like expand on a billion things
Yeah.
because it's huge.
It is a big book.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I might need some time between me and the show.
I don't know if it would. I don't know if you would like the book or not.
You'll have to tell me
I
after
loved
you
it.
finish the
It
show.
sort of seems like, I mean, if you know it, I don't know. It
Okay.
does expand things, but I imagine it stays pretty true to the plot. And if you know how it all resolves, I'm not sure that you'll be that compelled to get through the 1,000 pages or whatever.
I guess we'll see.
Anyway, I like that.
Nice.
Any other page to screen things happening right now? Well, Girl on the Train.
Girl on the Train comes out this week.
Oh, and our book club also meets this week. Wednesday.
So much Girl on the Train.
That's right. Wednesday at 3:30, Wednesday the 5th. So, Angelica listeners, you
Warning.
missed it. You missed it.
That's true. Warning, Girl on the Train, the movie,
Yeah.
takes place in New York,
Really?
whereas the book takes place in London.
That's confusing because Emily Blunt is British.
I think most of the people in the movie are British.
Huh.
It is confusing. And I don't know any people.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's also just seems like London's kind of part of it.
It is. Yeah,
So.
it definitely is. Huh.
I don't know.
Weird.
And I
Okay.
guess I always think of like New York as more like subways
Yeah.
than like trains.
Yeah.
and she's not going to be
elevated
like
trains and things.
in the subway like, oh, look, that woman in the brick.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
stuff.
No, we all got it though. That's all right. That's all right. So anyway, the book. club for
Sometimes I
that-
imagine there's a woman past the bricks who's having
Yeah,
a
that would-
marriage that's wonderful.
That would change it significantly.
I'm Mary Poppins! Because Emily
She is
Blunt's
Emily
playing
Blunt's
Mary
Mary
Poppins with
Poppins,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Weird.
Oh, speaking of,
Is he playing Bert?
I don't know. I think he's playing the dad,
Oh, okay. Mr.
maybe,
Banks.
or maybe he is. No, I think it's.
Is it a different family?
I think it's a different
altogether?
family.
Oh, okay.
So-
that makes sense.
Is she immortal? Mary
Mary
Poppins?
Poppins?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read the books. But
Okay.
The books are very different. So
Yeah. Do you think she's just like a spirit bound to Earth to constantly serve and improve children's lives?
you know what? I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, speaking of Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Yeah.
you and I,
Yeah.
we got a special little announcement for all our Hamilton
okay.
fans.
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead.
Eric and I
We're going to see
are
Hamilton!
going to see Hamilton
In Chicago.
Yes, with our wives and families.
Yeah.
So
Pretty exciting.
yeah, big
We
deal.
are going to be in the room where it happens.
Yeah, Hamilton reference. I get it.
Yeah. Man, you are the wrong person to take to this, but guess what?
What?
You're going to love it.
It'll be an educational
Yeah.
experience.
You're going to have to listen to the soundtrack.
I don't
full
think
through.
I don't
Stop
think I have to.
being like this. Listeners,
Why-
it's being
why
a jerk. I'm sorry.
No, why would
What?
I do that?
Why would you listen to the thing and then be excited to go
before-
see the thing?
No, I mean, why would I listen to it? You won't even listen to like a film
why,
score
why would you
before you
why
go
would
see
you
the
read
movie.
why would you read Girl on the Train and then go see Girl on the Train?
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Man, did I have that logged and loaded?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
it feels so
did.
good. This Coke is magic.
Yeah, I know it is.
No, you're right. That's true. I won't listen to a film score before the
Yeah,
movie.
well, I feel the same way. I would like to just. I mean, I've heard Hamilton before. I don't want to like
Oh, boy.
know it. I want to like experience it.
Yeah.
So, you millennials.
What? You're
I
a millennial,
swear.
I think.
No.
I'm not a millennial.
Yeah, you are.
Don't you call me that.
Sorry, millennial.
I'm right on the cusp. It like millennials start like the year or two after me,
Huh.
according to the millennial thing.
Okay.
It's like very late 80s.
When you factor in your stunted development, I think that that technically
I did stay
makes
back
you-
in first grade. Yeah, that might make me a.
You're a de facto millennial.
Darn it!
Sure. Okay. Well, I guess we can move on to book news then.
What are you, a Generation Xer?
Open it up. I don't know. I'm a baby boomer at heart.
Yes, that's true. At heart, you are a baby boomer. Oh, look, Murder, She Wrote's back on.
Yeah,
It's
so
a marathon.
So
That's
true.
you during a
No, I got it.
marathon
Yeah,
of-
you're absolutely right. That's
Man,
I would really get into.
are you gonna
it.
drink any of your Coca-Cola? Because I could have some
that.
more.
I'll drink
You
that.
got so much.
You got half.
All right, you want to get to book news?
Yeah, I do.
Let's stop meandering.
So we're going to tell you about things that are books that are coming out a long time away, so you can set your calendars, get excited about
Who
it.
sets their calendar?
I don't know.
On their phone, yes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's what I mean. Yeah. And then Eric's going to talk to you about some books that are coming out this very week.
I'm going to discuss. I want it to be back and forth. I don't want to just like preach at them.
Okay.
I want them to, lecture. I don't want to lecture. I want to be like,
understand.
hey, this book's coming out. And I want them to say, it's exciting.
Okay. Well, I like it.
Sure. All right. Hit us, Nick. What's coming out so far away that some of us may not even see their release dates?
Yeah.
Shout out to all our elderly listeners.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway.
Or our very young listeners, driving too fast.
This is a dark intro.
Our James Dean listeners, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, Jane Ann Krentz coming out with a new book, When All the Girls Have Gone, coming out November 29th.
When the party's over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Got about 2 months for this one. Jane Ann Krentz, the New York Times bestselling author of Secret Sisters, delivers a thrilling novel of the deceptions we hide behind, the passions we surrender to, and the lengths we'll go to for the truth.
I think we talked about Secret Sisters, or it was on the New York Times bestsellers list at a point.
I'm not sure how old Secret Sisters is. Probably been out for a while, but
you and I are secret friends.
That's true.
I don't tell the world that we're friends.
That's rude.
I don't want them to know. They're like, hey, is that your friend Nick? I'm like, no way. Don't even know him. Nick, you said?
It's like all that does is hurt me. Anyway, Jane Ann Krentz. It's funny, while you're talking about things that we've covered in the past, it's funny now that Facebook memories are always like, episode 2 of the podcast cracks me up.
The podcast is now going to
be doing this forever.
Is our little sound time capsule.
It is.
Of our lives.
Good news.
Sure.
Got a new bookshot coming out.
Oh, hit me.
November 1st.
Hit me with the bookshot.
James Patterson, Jeffrey J. Keyes. I think he might be new.
Yeah.
Killer Chef.
Hit me with your bookshot.
James Patterson's bookshots. Short, fast-paced, high-impact entertainment. Caleb Rooney knows how to do 2 things. Run a food truck and solve a murder.
Sure.
Come on. When people suddenly start dying of foodborne illness, the stakes are higher than ever.
Yeah.
Come on. Here's the thing, though. That seems like clearly it was meant to be a pun, but it's not spelled as steak. What a missed opportunity. It's not spelled like the food steak.
Yeah. Well, he's a businessman, not a writer.
I know, that's... Whoa! Woo! Oh. Eric, please pick up your mic. He dropped his mic. Right. It's library property, please.
Oh, geez, I actually broke the mic stand. Fading that bit. I'm going to turn my mic off.
Okay.
Which I'm sure everyone's going to appreciate, and I'm going to fix this mic stand.
Okay, I'll keep going. Next, we're coming up into the point here where I'm going to start telling you about Christmas books. So, ready or not, here they come.
Sorry, I'm yelling so they can still hear me.
My
mic is off.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
The Mistletoe Secret by Richard Paul Evans. Richard Paul Evans, obviously the King of Christmas. That title belongs to Johnny Mathis, but Richard Paul Evans has written several Christmas books. Yeah, he could be the Duke.
I said the Duke.
Yeah, they heard.
Broke again.
They heard. This is the 3rd in his Mistletoe series. So, Dear Universe, is anyone out there thinking no one is reading? A blogger who calls herself LBH.
Oh, I wish my mic was on. This sounds bad.
Writes about her most personal feelings, especially her overwhelming loneliness. She goes from day to day showing a brave face to the world, while inside she longs to know how it would feel if one person cared about her.
Oh.
Alex Bartlett cares. Oh, all right. So a little Christmas romance, I think, is in store for LBH and Alex.
Good.
So Richard Paul Evans fans need only wait until November 15th. I don't usually start my Christmas reading that early, though. I usually, post-Thanksgiving is the first time that I start, so.
Yeah, that's very early, Nick.
Yeah, thank you.
And listeners, tell them I said it's very early.
Eric says that's very early.
Thank you.
Man, it's worse when you don't have a microphone. Also, while we're talking Christmas, let's stick with it. A Christmas Message by Anne Perry. Anne Perry writes Christmas stories every year. This is her 14th in her Christmas Stories series. These are vaguely related to her primary series, like Thomas Pitt. This one is the former boss of Thomas Pitt. So if you follow that series, these are set in that same time period, the early 1900s. And sort of go with them, but you don't have to read the other ones to read these. These are basically standalones. So, A Christmas Message is Anne Perry's 14th novella in her festive series. Victor Norroway, Thomas Pitt's former boss, and his new wife, Vespasia, are traveling by train from Jaffa to Jerusalem. Although enjoying their time together and the interesting people they meet, Vespasia soon becomes concerned that someone is watching their every move.
She always feels like somebody's watching her.
So it's yeah.
She's got no privacy.
You sure do have that microphone back, don't you? I think I speak for everyone when I say welcome back. Finally,
would you say Debbie McCumber then is the queen of Christmas?
Oh boy. Maybe.
I mean, who else if not Debbie McCumber?
No, I don't think anybody else could take her place. You're right.
So Danielle Steele hasn't gone in on the Christmas books
She
yet.
hasn't, but I'm glad you mentioned that because new from Danielle Steele.
Oh, boy.
The award.
We're just giving her an award now?
Yeah. The award is an epic, emotionally resonant tale stretching from World War II France to present-day Paris. From one of our most gifted, beloved storytellers, Danielle Steele, at her finest. So,
Who
Danielle
says
Steele,
that?
Danielle Steele. Just kidding. No, this is just the publisher's synopsis of this
All
book.
right.
So this is coming out also November 1st, so you don't have to wait that long. Just a month. That's me, buddy. That's what I got. So you want to tell us what we have coming out, Tuesday? Tuesday the 4th?
Tuesday means nothing to our listeners.
That's why I said the 4th.
Yes, it's October 4th.
New books tend to come out on Tuesdays, everyone.
That's true. October 4th, 2016. These books at your local library.
Oh.
And internet.
Yeah.
Your local internet.
Yeah. Or
cafe.
brick and mortar bookstores.
Yeah. I guess, we should shout out to all you brick and mortar bookstores. You Amazon brick and mortar bookstore in Seattle, I think.
That's true, isn't it?
I think they have the one.
That's weird.
Yeah. I think we talked about it.
Yeah, it's
that
so
when it was
strange.
opening. That was a strange
It is.
moment. All right. This isn't a game.
Is that
A Jackson Oliver Mystery by David
okay.
Moss.
All
I
right.
scared you.
Yeah,
there,
you did. I thought suddenly.
12 Days of Christmas, a Christmas novel by Debbie McCumber.
Oh boy.
Queen of Christmas.
Oh, boy.
Here she is. So, a modern spin on Charles Dickens' classic A Christmas Carol. Well, that's new. Nobody's done that yet. This holiday story proves that behind every Scrooge is a tender heart with a huge capacity for love.
Sorry, I took a big drink of Coke and I couldn't respond to
You
that
left me.
accurately, but yeah, good for her. Mining the seldom seen, adapted Charles Dickens. What was A Christmas? What was it?
A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas. That's the Charles Dickens.
I wonder
Oh,
if
boy.
there's going to be a scene.
Never heard of it.
And this would be really bold in a new story.
Okay, tell me.
Where the character's being like brought around to
Yeah.
see people they know, but they can't see that character.
So she
I
can see
want
them.
I
but
want to
they
know if
can't.
there's going to be a
Wow.
scene where they're like, "Wait, I'm here," and then the ghost she's with
And then-
says something like, "Don't you know they can't
Yeah.
see you?" And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool."
Yes.
So
Right. Boy,
we're snarky.
That's true. Our apologies to Debbie
Yeah.
McCumber
If-
and her broad fan base.
If we were a early Hanna-Barbera cartoon,
Yeah.
that was on the same times as the Smurfs,
Yeah.
and the Snorks,
Yeah.
we'd be the Snarks.
I would watch that show.
Yeah, you would.
That's great.
Yeah.
I will say I have read one Debbie McCumber Christmas book,
And?
it was fine.
Was it about a dog?
Dashing through the snow. No, Dashing Through the Snow.
Okay.
About two people, man and a woman.
Okay,
Both needed to get somewhere. Only one rental car. What are they going to do?
I love it. I love the concept.
They rode
Man,
together.
How do we not just making money off Christmas stories? They're so easy.
That's true.
But
I haven't
here
even-
we are, not rich.
I haven't even sat down to look at what my Christmas reads this year are going to be. Although I did pick up at a thrift store one CSI Miami novel with a Christmas theme, so that's definitely on
Yeah.
the list.
All right. Let's see. Winter Storms by Ellen Hildebrand.
Oh, that one probably too. So I've read the other ones in that series.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is this the same person, or am I thinking of somebody else who wrote Unbroken?
No, I don't think that's Ellen Hildebrand.
Okay.
I don't know who it is. I can look it up while you talk.
All right. American Ulysses. Oh, this is a nonfiction. A Life of Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh,
Speaking of being in the room where it happens,
Yeah.
Nick and I were in the room where J.A. Garfield met Ulysses S. Grant.
that's true. We were.
It was like being in a room with a celebrity.
yeah.
You just had to go to J.A. Garfield's house to get
Right.
there.
Right.
Did I say J.A.?
Yeah, you did.
J.R. Garfield?
It's Jag.
Jag.
James A. Garfield.
Crosstalk by Connie Willis.
Lauren Hillenbrand wrote Unbroken. Hillenbrand.
Okay.
Laura, different.
Connie Willis. I recognize that name. I almost feel like I've read something by her.
Really?
Yeah, Crosstalk. I have no idea who this is. She writes sci-fi books?
Huh. Interesting.
Can you double check that for me?
Yeah, I mean, I can't
I'd ask Roger, but
Oxford time travel. Yeah, she writes some time travel stuff and sci-fi.
okay. Connie Willis has a new book. Let's see. Ooh, we have another nonfiction.
Okay.
I'm apparently not doing this in any type of
No, I love
order.
it. It's a mystery.
My Own Words. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Interesting.
You'll have to explain to me who Ruth Bader Ginsburg is.
Supreme Court judge.
When?
I mean now.
Oh, in 1993. She still is.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Napoleon's Last Island by Thomas Kennelly.
Spoiler alert. It's Waterloo.
A new historical novel set on the remote island of St. Helena about the remarkable friendship between a young woman
Well,
and
now
one
I
of
feel
history's most
stupid.
intriguing figures, Napoleon Bonaparte, during the final years of his life in exile. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I would like to get to the point in my life where I even have a last island.
Yeah.
Because to do that, you'd have to have islands before that.
Previous islands, yep.
Like, no, this isn't my last island. This is like my 5th island.
Right.
So I'm still living my day like my last island's coming up.
Yeah.
Something in the Blood, the untold story of Bram Stoker, the man who wrote Dracula.
Ooh.
By David J. Schall.
Timely.
It's a groundbreaking biography revealing the haunting origins of the man who created Dracula and the traces of psychosexuality contours of late Victorian society.
Hold up.
Yes, I said psychosexual contours of late Victorian society.
That's what I thought.
Yes. I mean, you got vampires.
Yeah.
So it would be confusing back then.
It sure would.
Let's see. Tana French. Just call yourself Tanya. Anyway, Tana French has a book called The Trespasser, a novel. Being on the murder squad is nothing like Detective Antoinette Conway dreamed it would be. Her partner, Stephen Moran, is the only person who seems glad she's here. I've already lost interest.
Yeah, it's boring.
All right, last adult book, and then I got some young adult books.
Okay.
2 by 2 by Nicholas Sparks.
Oh, Nikki Sparks.
Yeah, 2 by 2, Hands of Blue. No, I'm kidding. That's Firefly. Oh. Let's treat ourselves to a description of 2 by 2.
Oh boy,
by Nicholas Sparks.
I can't handle
it. All right.
Okay.
At 32, Russell Greene has it all: a stunning wife, a lovable 6-year-old daughter, a successful career as an advertising executive, with an expensive home in Charlotte.
Well, if I know Nicholas Sparks, things are going to keep going all right for this guy.
He's living the dream, and his marriage to the bewitching Vivian is the center of that. But underneath...
Probably never going to end.
No, but underneath the shiny surface of this perfect existence,
Stop.
Fault lines are beginning to appear.
Oh, no.
And no one is more surprised than Russ when he finds every aspect of his life he took for granted turned upside down.
Oh, no.
Nick, in a matter of months, Russ finds himself without a job, without a wife.
No!
Caring for his young daughter while struggling to adapt to the new and baffling reality.
Oh, boy.
Throwing himself into the wilderness of single parenting, Russ embarks on a journey at once terrifying and rewarding, one that will test his abilities and emotional resources beyond anything he ever imagined.
Boy, the movie version of this is going to feature him almost kissing someone.
Yeah, it will.
That's my
right on
guess.
the cover. They're gonna
All I have to say about this is, Russ, the key is communication.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You can't let this stuff build up, Russ. You got to, from the beginning. Seems like maybe something's a little off. Then you go to your wife and you ask her about it.
Yeah.
You don't let it... You have too much to lose, Russ. You have everything in the world to lose.
Yeah.
I don't...
Would you say he has everything to gain?
Yeah. In making that initial... Yeah, sure.
Here we got some young adult book. We got Ashes.
He'll be okay, though, right?
Russ?
Russ and the daughter?
Yeah.
Probably meet someone.
Yeah, I think so. I think they will.
Okay. You think he'll find someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know
Will someone also get along with the daughter, though? Because that seems kind of important. Do you think they will?
I think she'll say something like, Dad, you don't have to worry about me.
Okay.
Take care. She'll take care of you. Something like that.
Okay.
So
that's heartwarming.
Yeah. He's like, when did you grow up so fast?
What a roller coaster.
Yeah. So, okay.
What else?
Ashes. This is part of the Seeds of America trilogy. This is book 3 of it. This started with Chains and continued with Forge. This is by Laurie Halse Anderson.
Okay.
You'd probably recognize the books if you saw them. We have them in our young adult collection. It's set during the Revolutionary War.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We've got Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. Jennifer Niven wrote a young adult book, and I can't remember. It's called All the Bright Places. That's a pretty big one right now. Are you familiar with it?
I know the title.
It's got like the sticky notes on the cover with like a bird and a flower. So she's got a new book, Holding Up the Universe. You know who's also holding up the universe?
Who?
You and I doing this podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Something in Between, Melissa De La Cruz.
I like the name.
Thank you. I like saying it. She's written a whole bunch of books. I can't get into it all.
Can't or won't?
Won't.
Wow.
I don't know what this is about, and neither does this description.
Okay.
But the tagline is, only you can decide where you belong. That's
True.
not true.
What?
Oh, you think that is true?
Sure.
No.
Where you belong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where we don't belong?
Where?
The center of the sun.
That's true. That's true. But you just decided that now, didn't you?
Oh, you're right. You know what? You and I, we belong in the sun.
No.
Last book I got, Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, Book 2, The Hammer of Thor.
Is this like a Thor sidekick, like a junior Thor
You wish.
situation?
You wish.
Okay.
No, this is Rick Riordan. This is the sequel
sure.
to his first book.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is. The first book was called The Sword of Summer. So this is called The Hammer of Thor. The Magnus Chase book, the first one we got, not that popular.
Really?
I'm sure in other places maybe it is, but we got another one by him called The Trials of Apollo book, and this was the first book of a new series.
Okay.
And that one had holds as soon as we got it.
Really?
And was checking out all the time. Magnus Chase, it didn't, and it just hasn't.
Maybe people thought it was about Apollo Creed from Rocky.
Maybe. I wonder if it's because people know that the Trials of Apollo center on Greek gods, and so like that's what Rick Riordan has done before, whereas Magnus Chase is Norse mythology, and maybe the kids just aren't crazy about it.
Yeah, the kids are like, Norse, oh man. That's probably what it is.
Leave Thor in the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I don't need him in my Rick Riordan fan fiction. Wow. I said fan fiction.
Those kids.
Those kids are nerds.
They are.
Get outside, kids.
But they know what they want.
That's true.
So
you can't fault them for that.
No.
Hey, while we're on this roll of energy provided by the sweet taste of Coca-Cola goodness.
Again, we're not getting a dime for this.
No, we're not. But it is.
Cost me about $2.50.
It is fizzy.
Yeah.
It has a bite.
Oh no.
It makes my teeth feel like they're falling out. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've been using mine to dissolve a nail.
Yeah, I actually think I had some stuff inside my teeth, like nerves.
Really?
But this got through to
just killed them.
Yeah, got through to the teeth, got into the nerves.
Great.
Yeah, it was really painful for a while.
I bet it is. Yeah.
Let's talk about the New York Times bestsellers list.
I would love to.
Do you want to know what's the top 10?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what is number 15 and 14?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I'll just leave it to your imagination then.
Okay.
But number 15 is All the Light We Cannot See.
Darn it!
No. I'll stop then.
Okay.
And number 14, The Nightingale by
Don't
Kristen Hanna.
say it!
Oh, look how far away they are. They haven't been on the top 10 in a while, I feel like.
14, 15 is still pretty good, though.
Yeah, I guess. If you like getting whatever the color is for 14 and 15.
Like
gold, silver, bronze. And then you keep going.
Yes.
Zinc.
Yeah. That name. All right, what's number 10?
Oh, palladium. Again. Every year. Sorry. Oh, boy. All right, number 10 on the New York Times bestsellers list.
Yeah.
This is, I better make sure I'm not on the combined because you hate that.
I do.
The combined. If you looked at the combined, it's Girl on the Train.
Yeah.
That book's never going away.
No, it's not.
Maybe it will. This is hardcover fiction, though.
Okay.
Number 10 on hardcover fiction list, Apprentice in Death. J.D. Robb.
Still holding in there.
Yeah, it has been here for 3 weeks. We got number 9 is Nutshell by Anne McEwen. This is the one that's about a fetus in utero who overhears his mother plotting with his uncle to kill his father.
That is such a crazy premise.
I gotta get out of here!
Yeah.
I gotta warn Dad! Let me out!
Oh, the baby's kicking.
Ah! I know. I'll kick in Morse code. Dad! She's killing!
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Pulling on the umbilical cord.
Number 9.
Yeah. Number 8, 2 weeks on this list, Pirate by Clive Cussler.
Hey.
What was that?
This is Clive Cussler.
It sounded like your sitcom.
himself.
Like every time your character walks into a house in sitcom.
And that's my catchphrase.
Yeah, you're just
hey.
Yeah. You're like, oh, it's Nick.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's simple.
It is simple.
It's catchy.
You remember it.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd want to go into a house after watching that and be like, hey, I'm back. Anyway. Number 7. Ooh, it's new. The Kept Woman by Nick's favorite writer, Karen Slaughter.
No, I don't like Karen
One would
Slaughter.
say she's slaughtering the sales chart.
Yeah. I think you'd have to almost.
Yeah. Ooh, number 6, new this week. Thrice the Brinded Cat Hath Meowed.
What?
Oh, that was the 12-year-old detective Flava de Los returning home to. And this had to be a mistake. This is ridiculous.
Who's the author?
Alan Bradley.
What?
Yeah. I'll read the title.
That was nonsensical.
Thrice the Brinded Cat Hath Meowed.
Oh my gosh.
Mewed. Ooh, thrice the Brinded Cat Hath Mewed.
Brinded?
Brinded. Brinded.
Okay.
Maybe it's brinded. Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Crazy.
How many times can I say?
Okay. Yes,
What?
I know what these are.
Okay, what are they?
Well, they're just kooky mystery novels.
All right,
Very
well,
popular.
Number 6. So,
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
number 5 is Razor Girl by Carl
Hyacin.
Number 4. Ooh, it's gone up. The Woman in Cabin 10. Ruth Ware.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Travel writer on a cruise is certain she heard a body thrown overboard, but no one believes her.
I don't want to cause trouble, but it's my civic duty to
Yes,
report
ma'am.
this.
Report.
Listen, I know what you're going to say.
Okay.
But I heard this sound, and
Right.
please don't dismiss this.
Oh, sure, ma'am.
Because I'm a very reasoned and calm person.
As the captain, I'm going to
pretty
listen.
Sure that it was a body! Someone threw a body over! I heard it all the way from cabin 10.
Ma'am?
Yes.
I need you to go back to cabin 10.
Ah!
It's just the cabin.
Splash. Proceed.
Okay, number 3. The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead.
Colson Whitehead.
You gave that book 7 stars out of 3.
No,
I believe.
No, I think I gave it 3 stars out of 5.
Oh. Ooh,
It was
boy.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of
It was kind of a what?
Eh.
Huh. Okay. Number 2, Commonwealth by Anne Patchett.
Mm-hmm.
And she does patch it. Like, no, that's sorry. Number
I
1.
wanted to be there for you, but
Number 1.
okay.
Home by Harlan Coben.
Oh, okay.
Myron Bolitar and his friend Wynne locate a boy who was kidnapped 10 years earlier. The 11th Myron Bolitar novel. Myron Bolitar, some of you might remember, was the evil doctor on Battlestar Galactica.
No, that's Gaius Baltar.
Is what I said. Myron Bolitar.
Myron Bolitar is the character from
Right.
Harlan
He could
Coben.
see the blonde Cylon,
no.
and no one else could see him.
Gaius Baltar.
And he ran for president one time.
Gaius Baltar.
Do you remember the election one?
That's all Gaius
He blows up
Baltar,
the
though.
ship.
He's not a sports
Yeah, he
agent at all.
surrenders.
He's
Who
not
are we
a
talking
mystery
about?
star.
Okay. That's it, man. That was number 1. It's new this week. Harlan Coben. You like Harlan Coben? Yes or no?
I read one of his standalones called Miracle Cure, and I thought it was really good. We read the first Myron Bolitar for book club, and I thought it was really bad. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I don't feel compelled to read his books.
Did you see the guy who played Myron Bolitar on Battlestar Galactica? Was also in that show Alphas?
Gaius Baltar.
Who are we
no,
talking
I
about
didn't.
now?
No, I didn't.
So you've never watched Alphas?
No, I haven't actually.
All right, by Harlan Coben.
Different. Totally different.
This is hilarious.
It is.
Having a good time.
Yeah. No, not me. I mean, I was, but
What?
that was long ago.
When? That was mean.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a YA series, a spin-off of that.
Harlan Coben?
Yeah, and he's got a
Kids love it.
I know.
When adults take their adult mystery series and make young adult series
Yeah.
for them. They go crazy about it.
It's a kitty
So, yeah.
kitty version. It's a pup named Myron Bolitar. That's what it's called.
Sure.
No, it's Mickey Bolitar. Mickey Bolitar.
Mickey
series.
Bolitar.
I know we have.
Does he talk like a pup named Scooby-Doo, though?
No, he doesn't.
When they're like, we just solved this drug ring. And he's like,
"Hey."
he's just like, Rubs? I hate Rubs.
Yeah, that's why it hasn't found a audience, because it's just so weird.
Yeah.
But
What was that? Oh, we saw a pair of Scooby-Doo pajama pants that said trick or treat.
Yeah.
But they spelt it out exactly how Scooby would say it, so it
yeah.
said Rick or Reet.
yeah, available at your local Kmart.
Yeah.
By the way,
I mean, that's phonetically correct.
it is true.
It would
That's
be
what-
like Rick
it's
or
what-
Reet.
What Scooby-Doo would say.
Yeah.
Sure.
How much
Well-
does Alexander McCall Smith remind you of John Lithgow?
Look-wise?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I could see it. Do you think McCall Smith likes Third Rock from the Sun?
Who doesn't?
Oh, yeah.
My
I mean,
wife.
If he had... Is that true?
Yes.
Weirdo.
It's a problem. We've been in therapy
Weirdo.
about it.
Have you?
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
I just came in like, she doesn't like Third Rock from the Sun. And the
person
doctor's just like, I
left.
can't help you.
I'll have to refer you to someone else.
Yes.
Well, we're not welcoming John Lithgow to the...
Uh,
but we would.
To be fair, we always are welcoming
That's
John
true. We
Lithgow.
just haven't-
Anytime
yeah.
John Lithgow wants to come to the library
we
for
haven't made any
anything,
official overtures towards him. But
just please don't bring Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
we don't want that.
You can bring French Stewart, but he has to have his eyes
Yeah,
closed the whole time.
French Stewart can come.
So,
Woo, but here's who we are bringing, folks.
Uh-huh.
And this is not a drill.
who's the woman who played Sally?
This is not a joke. Kristen Johnson. This is not a drill.
This is not a drill.
This is real.
Okay.
Alexander McCall Smith is coming to the David A. Howe Public Library. Now, this is extra
That
special.
was a spit take.
Extra cool because
He's
lives
68 years old.
He lives in Scotland. He's going to be in the U.S. for a very brief time.
Yeah.
He's doing 9 stops on a book tour. Only 9. And one of the 9 is here at the David A. Howe Public Library. So
We're one of 9.
one of 9.
One
So
could
it's
say
very
we're
rare.
on cloud 9.
Yeah. So he's, in part, this tour is to support his new book coming out, Precious and Grace, which I believe is book 17 in the #1 Ladies Detective
Not the
Agency.
collection one? The one that had all those stories?
Chance Encounters.
I
Well,
thought that was his newest.
well, yeah, it is as of right now, but I think the 11th, maybe next week, is when the next #1 Ladies Detective Agency comes
Wow.
out. So, yeah, so while he's here, he's going to be doing a talk and a reading and everything. We'll get into all that.
I'm so glad to see that she finally did become the detective she always wanted to be as a kid.
Yeah, she did.
So
we're gonna dig into that a little bit, but let me give you a little background on how, first of all, how this happened that we have Alexander McCall Smith. So
Sure.
last year we welcomed Joyce Carol Oates. Those of you who listened to the podcast from the beginning know that because we talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Joyce Carol Oates had some roots in this area, so we were able to
Like
get her
an
to
ant.
come. I wrote her a letter, a personal letter, and we talked to her agency, and we got. Luckily, we had sponsors, the Friends of the Library and Houghton College, jumped at the chance to help us do this, and so we made it happen, and it was great. She had a nice time. Everything went well. She told her agency that, and so they were game to send us somebody else. So we started talking about who should we have next almost a year ago. We've been doing this. And Alexander McCall Smith came to the top of the list because he's a prolific writer.
Yeah.
We have almost all, well, probably not almost all, but his main series we have here at the library, and they're super popular. They're always going in and out.
They really are the number one ladies detective agency
That's right.
of books.
So when that became an option, the first thing I did was go back to our sponsors from last year, Houghton College and the Friends, and they jumped at it again. So I want to give them a lot of credit for this, because we certainly could not do this without the Friends of the Library. But the Friends of the Library are already dedicated to us, and they're already constantly supporting our program. Right. So I want to give a real special thanks to Houghton College, because they see the value of this for their students, certainly, but for the whole community at large, and are willing to support this financially. So again, we couldn't do it without them, so I want to make sure everybody knows just how thankful we are to do that. So here's what's happening. October 20th, 2016, Alexander McCall Smith will be in the auditorium here at 7 o'clock. You don't need tickets or anything. It's a free talk. You can come and listen to him. He's going to do some reading. He's going to take some questions from the audience for about an hour. Right after that, he's going to stay for a reception. That is ticketed. So to come to the talk is free. If you want to meet him at the reception afterwards, that's a $35 ticket. And what that includes, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you want to meet cute him,
Yeah.
that's up to you, bumping into him at the bank, maybe like asking him for a pen.
Yeah.
And him like reaching for a pen, but then he realizes he didn't have a pen.
Yeah.
He has
and
to
then
get
later,
one.
You go on Craigslist as like a chance to meet up and say, hey, if you were the one looking for a pen in the community bank, it's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
Craigslist is dangerous, though. I wouldn't try to find Alexander McCall Smith on Craigslist.
If someone on Craigslist says he's Alexander McCall Smith,
he's lying.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's going to murder you.
So anyway, if you want tickets for the reception, $35. That includes a reserved seat in the auditorium. It's catered by the Country Club. They did a great job last year. Live music from Houghton College and a book signing. You can bring your own books, or you can buy a book from Burlingham Books. They'll be set up here on the night up. You can buy tickets at the front desk.
And we had a line for JCO with the book signing.
Oh yeah.
We sold out of the tickets, right?
We did.
It was a big deal.
And it was like she was there for an hour signing.
Yeah.
And it was like the last person came through just at an hour. So
Yeah.
it was really like we couldn't have done any more if we wanted to. It was
And people were buying lots of books there too.
Yeah.
As soon as she was done talking, you could just see like that table of
just like
books
a
just
rush.
slowly shrinking down.
Yep. So all of that's happening again, pretty similar to what we did last year. Only this time it'll be Alexander McCall Smith.
Yeah.
So he's going to be talking about Joyce Carol Oates' childhood pet chicken.
No.
Not really. That's not true.
He'll be talking about his pet bagpipe.
Yeah,
maybe,
he will. Yeah,
Do you think he plays the bagpipe?
I mean, I think he has to.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that part of the rules?
I'm not sure of Scottish law.
No, I'm not either. I'm not an expert. So today we're going to talk a little bit about his background. So Eric, let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Before...
How old is he?
No.
He's 68 years
No.
old. Oh.
And answer this truthfully. Before we booked Alexander McCall Smith, how aware of him were you?
The number one ladies detective agency books,
Yeah.
when I was working at my other job in Jacksonville, Florida, were always coming through.
Okay.
And it wasn't just the new ones. It was just a constant stream of them. So I've seen the name many times.
Good. Yeah.
Not so much the kids stuff that we
No.
found out, but the ladies agency one was crazy. It was just like every day there were like 20 of them coming through the book drop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's true. For me, it's the same way. I hadn't read them before last year, but I always knew of them. Those in 44 Scotland Street were the ones that Number One Ladies Detective Agency in 44 Scotland Street. I was aware of the HBO series based on Number One Ladies Detective Agency, but I hadn't seen it, which we do have in our collection. So if you want to check that out,
it's only one
before
season.
the visit. Yeah,
HBO didn't continue it, but
no, just the one.
Yeah.
It was well received.
It's
though.
checked out.
I think
Like
it's
as
good,
soon as it's back, it goes right back out.
Yeah, so we both had sort of a similar experience in that we just knew of him because of his popularity, but hadn't really dug in.
Right.
So let's talk. Do you have his stuff up there?
Yeah, he's 68 years old.
Okay.
What do you want to know, man?
I want to know, tell us his main series.
His main series is Number One Ladies Detective Agency,
Well, yes.
man.
Yeah, what else we got?
What else do we got?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it's 17 books for Number One Ladies. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's
Eric
about 12
counting
or
in
so.
real time.
44 Scotland series. He's also got the Sunday Philosophy Club.
Yep.
Also known as the Isabel Dalhouse Mysteries.
Yep.
It's another one that's like 12 books. You got the Corduroy Mansions, Professor D. Von Englefield Entertainments, and some other ones.
And then
you got some
children's,
shorts,
basically.
anthologies. You got a lot of children's books.
Yeah.
You got a children's series in Akimbo. First one being Akimbo and the Lions.
Yep.
You got his Harriet Bean ones, which I have heard of before. You got Max and Maddie. You got the Young Precious Momontsway, which is a prequel series to the #1 Ladies Detective Agency.
Yep.
And then you have a whole bunch of academic texts.
Yeah, that's true. So it looks like currently his
According
series...
to Wikipedia, you could also follow the See Also White People in Zimbabwe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
His main series, I would say probably #1 Ladies Detective Agency and 44 Scotland. They're the longest. But those two and the Sunday Philosophy Club series are still active. I mean, he's still publishing those semi-regularly.
Last Philosophy Club was 2015. Last 44 Scotland was this year.
Now, I haven't read any of the 44 Scotland Street series. I know my father-in-law, that's his favorite of the series. He really enjoys those. And my wife read the first of the Sunday Philosophy Club series, but I
didn't realize that Emma was so recent. That came out in 2015.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a 90s book.
No, it's ongoing. It's that's part of the Jane Austen series, as I mentioned. I think 4 of 6 have been published so far. So no, it's ongoing. That's relatively new.
All right.
So he was, I don't know how you would say this, but he was sort of knighted, right? He's got a CBE, which is a Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, was bestowed on him, along with several other awards. Let me tell you some of the awards he's got.
Okay.
He's the recipient of numerous awards, including the Crime Writers Association's Dagger in the Library Award, the United Kingdom's Author of the Year Award in 2004, the Saga Award for Wit, Sweden's Martin Beck Award, and the Bollinger Everyman Woodhouse Prize for Comic Fiction, and that was just last year, 2015. He was made CBE in 2007 for his services to literature in the Queen's New Year's Honor List. He also holds honorary doctorates from 12 universities, most recently from Southern Methodist University in Dallas.
Yep.
And in 2010, McCall Smith was awarded the Presidential Order of Merit by the President of Botswana.
Oh.
So when I think of him, I tend to go right to #1 Ladies Detective Agency.
Yeah. Well, some people think of amateur bassoonist.
Oh, do they?
When they think of him.
Yes.
Like, oh, yes, of course,
That-
Alexander McCall
the
Smith. He's the
amateur
amateur bassoonist.
Bassoonist,
That's
yeah.
real. That's a fact.
And I'd always sort of assumed that #1 Ladies was his first, like that was it. That was his start. But when you look a little closer, I mean, obviously he was writing academic texts.
Yeah.
His background is really interesting. He's a doctorate in medical law.
Biomedicine.
Yeah.
Biomedical. What does this one say? It says became a respected expert on medical law and bioethics.
Yeah. So it's an atypical background,
Sounds like
especially
him
considering
and
the types he
Crichton
writes.
should have hung
but-
out.
That's right. Yeah, they
That'd
probably
be so
should've.
cool. The #1 Ladies Detective Agency
Maybe
in Jurassic Park.
Maybe there'll be like a Nixon Carver
Sure.
reimagination of
These
these
two
two
authors someday meet.
getting together and
You know,
hanging out.
Alexander, sometimes my hemorrhoid is acting up like crazy. I know how you feel, Michael.
If you haven't heard the Nixon Carver episode, that's a little commercial for it. So
What do we call it?
Go
The
back
House
in the
Rabbit's
backlog.
phlebitis. That's
Yeah.
number 5?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go back in the backlog. Anyway, he was born in what was then Rhodesia, which is now known as Zimbabwe, and grew up there, went back there later in life. So he has real hands-on experience with Africa, which is why I think some of his #1 Ladies Detective Agency series in particular is praised for its accuracy. You know, the way it represents life there. So anyway,
I'm no expert,
Yes.
but I can tell you in the game of Risk, Africa is both challenging and rewarding to control the complete
in the
continent.
board game,
In the
of
board
Risk.
game of Risk. Yes,
Okay.
if you have, it's hard because there's so many ways to attack.
Yeah.
But it has its benefits.
Sure.
Just cruise through South America and then you get up to North America through the South and you can only protect it.
I always feel like Australia is the way to go because you can get the whole thing. But
my favorite,
it's a tough
and
call.
this is putting it out there, but my favorite, I always like to start by getting as much of Europe as I can and just trying to
just keep going
because it gives you 5 soldiers
I
every.
understand. You and Alexander the Great, I think, felt strongly.
Yeah.
But
All right, continue.
anyway, where was I going? Anyway, so all of that to say, I thought the #1 Ladies Detective Agency is what launched him onto the scene, but it wasn't. He
It was
was
his
writing
bioethics.
He was writing academic texts as early as the 70s.
Thou shalt not clone sheep and stuff.
And then really sort of got into fiction when he won a competition, a literature competition for a children's novel. And before he published #1 Ladies Detective Agency, he published
the White Hippo.
Yeah, 10 or 15 juvenile books.
Yeah.
And then #1 Ladies Detective Agency came and hit pretty big, pretty
Yeah.
early. Has remained just a perennial bestseller, and they're almost published annually. I think it looks like he hasn't missed a year.
Yeah, it was only at the beginning, really. when he was first starting out.
So it's interesting that his background is in, well, first, I mean, all the medical and bioethics and stuff, and then sort of made his debut as a children's author before turning to what he's now, overwhelmingly known for, would be these Number One Ladies, 44th Scotland Street, and others.
You know what? You're my number one lady.
Hey, thank you.
No problem.
Let's talk about his children's novels for a little bit, since that's the first. What was the first one you read?
I read Akimbo and the Lions.
Okay.
This came out in 1992.
Okay, so that's pretty early.
Akimbo and his father.
Okay.
His father's a park ranger.
Uh-huh.
His father needs to go...
Are these set in Africa?
Yes.
Okay.
The father has to go stop a lion from attacking a farmer's cattle, I believe it was.
Okay.
And so he gets there, and it's a lioness, and they scare it off and everything, but then they realize the lioness left behind its cub.
Oh.
And so Akimbo raises the lion, names it Simba, because Simba means lion. So you can tell Lion King worked really hard.
Yeah, they did.
Speaking of,
Hard
did
name.
you see they're making a live action, if you can call it that, Lion King?
Really?
And I feel like they already did that in the Jungle Book.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be weird.
That is
Bad
weird.
idea, I think. Anyway, and so he has to raise this, he raises the cub, it becomes a lion, and then he has to let the lion go. So it's really just a younger retelling of that movie you like with Cary Grant.
Bringing Up Baby?
It's just bringing up baby.
Okay.
Kimbo
Yeah,
was bringing up
sure.
baby.
So it looks like it's a 5-book series. Did it feel like it was meant to be a series?
No, it's very
I
standalone.
was going to say, the story you described sounds like... So does he age? Does he go through his whole... I mean, how many years is
The
this book
lion
set?
ages,
Well, sure.
but not the boy.
Crazy.
It's very quick.
Okay.
It's a very quick read. Like as soon as he finds the lion, he raises the lion. As soon as the lion is like bigger, they have to let it go.
This is pretty early in his career.
Yeah.
He only had a few others before that.
Yeah.
So what's the takeaway? Did you
It reminded me of a book I liked as a kid called The Enormous Egg. So I liked it. I mean, I only just read it.
Strengths, weaknesses. What do you think?
It was just to the point.
Okay.
You know, I'm not sure what the age level is for that. I'd have to look it up because it's young. It's not, it's not even. I wouldn't even put it in juvenile.
Really? Okay. So you'd say like 8?
Maybe. I guess second grade is
Okay.
the level I'm thinking.
right.
Very quick. It's only like 70 pages.
Okay.
I mean, it's just not that much story. There's no character growth.
Okay.
So, but The Enormous Egg, that's a great book too. You should
Not
check that
by
out.
Alexander McCall
No,
Smith.
no,
That's
no.
very
It's about a boy a chicken lays an enormous egg, but it turns out to have a dinosaur in it. It's a triceratops.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was so excited
No
as a kid. I'm
wonder-
like,
no wonder
the
you
egg
like
was a
that.
dinosaur.
He's continuing to publish children's books with a new one. He hadn't in a little while, actually, it looks like. But
2013 was the last one.
Yeah.
No, School's Ship.
yeah, that's the one that's not even in yet. Like, we've ordered it. It's not here yet. School Ship, Tobermory, looks like.
Sure.
The first that I'd read of his
think
children's
those are-
books was Harriet Bean.
Yeah.
You said you'd heard of these before?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Harriet Bean came out in 1993, 1990, 1991. So they've been
Kind of
around.
old. Yeah, it sounded familiar to me, but when I read it, no, I didn't know anything about it. So that one also, I would probably push it a little older than you would say for Akimbo and the Lions. This is about a girl. The first one is the 5 Lost Aunts of Harriet Bean, where she finds out her dad has sisters and they were separated as children. And so she wants to track down the ants, and that's the plot of that. Very, like you said, very simplistic, very quick moving. It takes no time to find these ants. I think that each ant is kind of a extreme character, so I think it would probably be pretty appealing to kids.
Young and old.
Yeah, young and old. I didn't love it just because I thought it was a little too simple. Even for a kid's book, I felt like it was a little simple.
All right.
But I could see the appeal.
Sure.
And that had just the 3. I'll tell you of the kids' book that I really liked was, what is that called? The Great Cake Mystery.
Yep.
That's
I read it.
so you did. Okay,
The Young
so,
Precious books.
yes. So this is I guess you could call them prequels to the Number One Ladies Detective Agency. They follow Precious Vermont's way as a child.
It's kind of like when you would get a board game like Clue Junior,
Clue Jr.,
or a Monopoly Junior. It's like the same thing,
Right.
kind of,
Right.
but
Yeah, it's essentially it's the Muppet Babies.
yeah,
is what you
the
got
Muppet
here.
Babies of the Number One
It
Ladies
doesn't
Detective
really
Agency.
I don't know. I didn't really felt like it tracked with the Precious that you know from
Sure,
the series because
yeah.
it talks about her childhood a little bit.
She swore a lot more in the kids'
She
book.
did, yeah. No. So I think if you're a fan of the Number One Ladies Detective Agency, I wouldn't say, oh, go back and read those because
Yeah.
I think it's a very different experience. But I found out of all of the McCall Smith books that I read, as I said earlier, I feel like his style is very old-fashioned, and that's not a put down. I think he would say yes, it is.
Is it a get down?
No, I just think that's his wheelhouse. You know, he writes in sort of that classic style. Where I felt like the Young Precious book was actually felt a lot more like what I would expect from a modern kids book. You didn't think so?
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. It does feel like a kid's book. And that one also read young to me. Because he talks to the audience, too. He's like, don't you know somebody who likes figuring things out? I'm like, I guess. Yeah. Just tell me what's happening.
Right.
Calm down. Don't bring me into this.
I think what really did it, though, was the illustrations. Because they're
pretty good.
Yeah, and they were... they're simple. Simple color palette of like reds and browns, blacks. But it felt like, like a current TV show even, how they're sort of like, oh, look at this, and sort of zooms in, and there's arrows pointing to things.
Yeah.
And, the way it would sort of spell out, because they're all African names, and some of them are hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
He would put that out there. I thought it was really well done. I don't really know, like, who I would recommend that to.
A child.
Yeah, but I mean, age group, it's sort of hard to decide.
Yeah, again, I'm thinking like the second grade bracket.
I mean, I guess I take back what I said. If you're a fan of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency, it'll take you like 20 minutes to read one of these.
Yeah, that's true.
So check it out and see what you think.
It could be a #1 Ladies Detective Agency bookshot.
Really, and I read, yes, exactly. And I read a little bit about why he did this. I thought it was kind of fascinating because he got his start in children's books and then, went on to do all this other stuff and hasn't really like focused on children's books in the last, say, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And so then to go back and take his most prominent character from like the new era and write it in a style in which he started, I could see that as being a really like, I don't know, maybe even a challenging thing to sit down and do. But in an interview I read with him about this, he said that he found that the #1 Ladies Detective Agency had fans sort of across the ages. Kids and parents and grandparents would all read them together and share them back and forth. That surprises me because I wouldn't say that about that series.
Really?
But apparently he liked that and thought, well, Precious would be an interesting character young, so let's do it. So he wrote 4 of those, and it kind of seems like that's it. That is just going to be the 4. But I think they are sort of a good entry for kids because it's a different culture, so that's neat. I mean, his writing... while these feel a little bit more modern, it does sort of stay true to his overall style. So I think it'd be an interesting book. If you're a parent who likes the #1 Ladies, and you have a child who wants to read these younger ones, I think that could be an interesting way to do that, discuss those. But I was kind of impressed with it, just because I thought even the five Lost Aunts of Harriet Bean felt a little like old fashioned to me, but this one really I thought was modern. Yeah. So did you like it?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't it wasn't like pulling me in.
I know, but I mean,
who's eating this cake?
Yeah,
is it the kid? If it's this kid and he's pretending like he didn't do it, that's just wrong.
Yeah. So, could you see recommending it to kids coming in?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's
if somebody's
simple.
like, I want a detective book.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we also got the A to Z mysteries.
Right.
So maybe that's what I should do. I should read an A to Z mystery and then compare them
and decide, which one is better.
Yeah.
Okay. The first of his books that I read probably still is my favorite, and for some of the same reasons that I just said about this other one here, because I found it to be modern. It felt very different from what I then went on to read later. But that was called Trains and Lovers, and you'll see if you look at his output, they tend to be grouped in series. He doesn't do a lot of standalone books. So this is why I picked this one up originally, because it was just kind of out there on its own. We had it in the collection, and I liked the title, Trains and Lovers. It sounded interesting to me. So I picked that up, and what this is about is basically just a short commute. It's a quick read. Short commute, I think, from London to, I don't know, somewhere in Ireland.
Dublin?
And it's just these 3 characters sort of in this section together, and they get to talking about their lives. So you follow each story, and then it sort of comes back. The train sort of serves as a frame device.
Okay.
You start in the train, they're chatting, you go into someone's story, and you sort of come back out. The characters discuss it. You go into another story, come back out. I think that's kind of a challenging thing to do. I think it can be done very clumsily, where you feel like, well, I don't care about this, get back to the other thing.
Right.
But I thought that they sort of were interwoven well. and I liked each story. And it was one that, at least one of the stories in there, I would have liked to have seen, like, expanded to a full novel, because I was intrigued by it. So I was impressed with that one to start. And it's funny because, when people ask me, well, which one do you like? And I say that, McCall Smith fans seem to not know what that is. So I think I picked kind of an obscure one to start with, not intentionally, but that's the way it goes.
Was this a prequel to Trains, Planes, and Automobiles?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Steve Martin's character in it. But so I would recommend that one. I think if you are not a McCall Smith fan and want just something that's not a long series or anything, I think that's a good one. If you've tried McCall Smith, say you've tried Number One Ladies Detective Agency or 44 Scotland, didn't like it, I would say try Trains and Lovers, because it still is a good representation of his writing, but it's a kind of a different. His approach is different, and so I think it appeals very differently than the other ones too. Okay. So I think that's a good one to go to.
All right.
I also really liked. I think we talked about this a little bit, so you recall, but Chance Developments. Do you remember that one?
No.
That's the one. That's the one with the pictures.
Nope.
He takes 5 historical pictures.
Okay.
It's a new one. Anyway. It's
I'm nodding in compliance.
Okay. It's the latest one to be published. The new Number One Ladies Detective Agency one will knock it out as the most recent. But this came out a little earlier this year, and this is where he wrote. I think he wrote a foreword to some collection of lost photos. Just like, we don't know who's in this picture or what it is. Take a look. And he was fascinated by that. Chose 5 of the pictures, and then used that picture to write a story. So it's interesting because some of them I just really disagreed with. Like, you see the picture and you have in your mind what it is, and then the story, it's like, well, I don't see how you got that at all. I don't see how you took that picture to write this story. So it was funny. I was kind of on the fence because it was just so far away from what I expected from the picture. It was hard to even see. But I really like the concept of it. I think that's an interesting way to approach something like that. And it is. I find most of his books tend to be segmented. Was Akimbo like that at all? Would you say it was just a straight narrative?
Yes, but by chapters.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the lion, the raising the lion.
Okay.
Lion at school.
Okay.
I guess.
But did it feel like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, even Number One Ladies Detective Agency, I wouldn't say that
the timeline was regular.
Okay.
It was a regular timeline.
Okay. See, Number One Ladies Detective Agency, it's a linear timeline, but there's not really a big overarching thing happening. It's like each section is sort of standalone. And so Chance Developments, obviously, and Trains and Lovers as well, really sort of spoke to that, because it was segmented by, we're going to talk about this now, we're going to talk about this now.
Okay.
So that was one of the things I liked about the young one, the Cake Mystery one, is because it was a long linear story. It wasn't broken up. And Emma's the same way, but it's following a pattern set by Jane Austen, so obviously it would be. Have you read any of his short stories?
No.
I know he has some,
he does
all across the ages.
He does have some kid ones.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you which one. Maybe I could.
Something about hamburgers?
Yeah, you're right. It is something about
what it's
hamburgers.
But
The Perfect Hamburger? That came out in the 80s. That doesn't seem right. But it must be.
Yeah. Anyway, his adult books, he has quite a few collections of short stories. I read a few out of Heavenly Date and Other Flirtations, and those were all sort of around romance.
Okay.
And that one didn't click for me. I like some of the stories more than others, and when you look at the reviews, that sort of people are like, well, this is weird, this is atypical. So, but that was an interesting one, to say the least. I mean, it was, because there was just such a variety.
Right.
It wasn't all set in the same time frame. The characters were all completely different. It really, the only thing that connected those stories, that they were all sort of about making that a romantic connection. Right. So, a good frame for it. Do you find? Have you seen them move in the kids' room at all? Do you think that his kids' books remain popular? It's all right. You can say no.
Here, I haven't seen it so much.
Okay.
I didn't even know we had the Akimbo books until Reddit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, kids don't. I don't know if adults are reading them and then bringing the kids stuff in. So
yeah.
It seems like that's the thing you would do.
Right.
Oh, this would be fun
I
to
feel
read
like that's true of a lot of different things. Well, like you sort of were joking about before, take like Grisham's Theodore Boone. Like, are kids reading that, or are adult Grisham fans finding it because they're like the latest, or are trying to get their kids to read them?
I've seen those young lawyer books. Check out.
Have you?
But not Boone? Compared to other books.
Yeah,
like the kids, it's not the same level of the Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. So, and I don't know if, and I'm pretty sure those kids aren't like, oh, John Grisham, he's right down to my level. Sick. So,
well, let me read to you a few of the reviews of McCall Smith's work, so you get a
I couldn't stop you if I tried.
No, you couldn't.
Wait, do you think I should try?
No,
I'll kill you.
That's kind of the point of what we're doing here.
Oh, right.
So this is from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. McCall Smith.
Who are they?
Is the they're the Dispatch from Richmond.
Oh, okay.
McCall Smith is the P.G. Wodehouse of our time, and we should be grateful for his prolificacy. I don't think I've ever seen that word before. I get it, but Washington Times had this to say: whimsical, McCall Smith specializes in subplots that punctuate the book like polka dots, relying on his considerable literary skills to link them into a merry pattern of human events. That's actually a really good way to describe his books, I think. That is what it's like. It's just, take these little things and then we'll put them together.
That was listeners, you couldn't see what he did, but he did the weirdest hand gesture along his face to describe what he was saying. You were like this. You were like tickling your face while it's like taking all these little things. And then
I don't know why you're making stuff
you made like a spider. I didn't make that up. Oh, this one was on camera.
I like this one. This is from The Scotsman, and it says, very agreeable. McCall Smith has a rare and enviable gift. Yeah. So do you find, have you seen, from past library jobs, do you think these appeal? It seems to me, I guess, that they appeal maybe more to an older crowd. Do you find that true?
Maybe. I think I remember one of maybe his newer ones were part of a book club. Oh. And the book club there, they just kept them checked in, and it was a really big book club.
Really?
And every now and then they would probably just do whatever his newest one was, or the second, the one just before that. And that book club probably ranged from people in their 40s and up.
Okay, so not okay. So, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the number one ladies detective agency, if it's going for an older crowd, or
well, it certainly
my parents' age.
It's kind of misleading, I think, to I when I read the title, it just even before I read it, I guess when I heard that, I just always assumed that they were murder mysteries. That they were mysteries, cozy mysteries, I guess is probably what I thought. And we keep them in the mysteries, and I think technically they are, but they're not the kind of book that you read. They're not whodunits, that you don't read the book because you want a great mystery. You read the book because the book itself is an experience. And I think a lot of what I guess pretty much everything besides maybe the Young Precious Romanceway book, And Trains and Lovers, that I read was really about the writing. The story. The story moves it along, and there's little peppered in little mini subplots that make up sort of a greater experience. But I think he's one where the writing really is a key element of it. His books are not the books that you start and you're anxious to finish.
Right.
You sit down and you just sort of have a mug of coffee and you just enjoy the experience of reading his book, and which I think is one of the reasons why he uses so well this I don't know what you'd call it, but this approach of having little mini stories,
right?
Making up part of a greater, because I think the point is just to enjoy it. For as long as it lasts, you just get in there and enjoy it. They're not meant to be page turners and I have to find out what happens. It's sort of a different approach, and I think
it's like a jacuzzi.
Yeah,
you just get in the jacuzzi.
Yeah,
enjoy the heat.
There, you're not swimming, you're not exercising.
Enjoy the bubbles.
Yeah, you're just soaking it up.
Yeah, you're not bathing.
I think
it's not for bathing.
No, it's just to have a nice relaxing day. So I think if you don't know that, if you just pick one up cold,
if you think you're going into a swimming pool,
yes. But for the book club, for example, we all, me included, thought that we were gonna sit down and read a mystery, and it wasn't. And so a lot of us had trouble adjusting our expectations, and sort of I got it in the end. I was okay, so I was just wrong about what this is, and so I read it kind of expecting suddenly there's going to be a big thing that becomes, the plot that we're driving towards, and it doesn't. So I think it's good to know, approaching his novels, that it's about the journey, not the destination.
Right.
Like
Lord of the Rings.
So yeah,
it's very much about the destination though in Lord of the Rings.
So
once you get to Mount Mordor, it's
so you discredited your own example.
No, it's also about the journey. It's more so about the journey than the destination.
Right.
But the destination is a very big part. It might be even more important than the journey.
Understand. Sure.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, as we've said, he remains popular. I think all of these series have a lot of people here in Wellsville in particular, but all across STLS we see them going. We always get them, and some of the smaller libraries don't. So we're constantly pulling these for holds and sending them out. So I think they remain popular, and I think it's a testament to his skill and his style that he's managed to connect with an audience on multiple different levels. And
well, it doesn't hurt that in 2011 he was voted Scotland's sexiest man alive.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, it wouldn't hurt, though.
John Lithgow actually won that award.
John Lithgow. Wow, I only think he's Scottish, so that's really an honor. The first time bestowed on it. But anyway, he's a perpetually popular author. We're excited to have him here. He's sort of known in the lecture circuit as being a particularly good presenter. His charm and his style. I think even if you're not a fan of the books, even if you've never read one, I think you could come to the auditorium and hear the talk and just be entertained and have a good time. So I hope you will. I hope you come. All that information. Again, let me just quickly go over it. 7 o'clock, October 20th, in the auditorium. You don't need a ticket. If you want to come to the reception and meet him, get a book signed afterward, you do need a ticket, and that is $35. You can pick them up right here at the library desk. All of the proceeds for that go towards offsetting the cost for this. And this is something that we hope to do year after year. And again, we want to thank the Friends of the Library and Houghton College for their support. Yep. And we're excited. Are you excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's an exciting time. It's always exciting.
I know.
When we were getting Joyce Carol Oates, it was super exciting.
I know.
And this is super exciting.
I know. I think it's going to be a madhouse. I really do.
Palpable. Did I say that right?
I don't think so, but I think we all knew it.
Palatable?
So, I mean, this whole segment has been sort of like library news. But let's scale it down and talk library news.
Scale it down.
So what do you got coming up? The Card Game Club seems to be going well.
Card Game Club,
by the way.
the Teen Card Club. Yeah, I said Teen Clarb.
Yeah,
I'm having a problem.
I got it.
The Coke has wore off. I've sweated out like a fever, like a crazy Coke fever. Which, if you don't add in the fact that it's Coca-Cola, sounds nuts.
No,
sounds like it's Johnny Depp's Blow.
Right.
The movie, not Johnny Depp's collection of cocaine. Oh my gosh.
It's all right.
Anyway, yes, our teen after-school card game club has been growing. That's for kids after school to come and play Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic. The main game being played is Yu-Gi-Oh, which I don't understand. I don't understand the game. I don't understand why it's popular, but it's there. And we also had some people playing Magic cards.
Cool.
Pokemon gets played on a regular basis, but we've got our teen anime club every Wednesday. Oh, the card game thing, if you're a teenager and you're free after school, it's Tuesdays at 3.
Okay.
3 to 5. And then we've got our teen anime club on Wednesdays, 5:30 to 7:30. And that... and the 7th, October 7th. We're at 3:30 in the Nancy Howe.
Correct.
I always try to say Nancy A. Howe.
Yeah.
Maybe her middle name was A.
I think it was, actually.
Nancy A. Howe Auditorium.
Well, that's not what we call
We're
it.
showing the modern classic, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
You're overselling.
Look, it's a character piece more than I thought it was going to be.
Wow.
And so when I seemed not so excited about it, it was because I was hoping for like some crazy action. I was hoping for like crazy aerial, like the Technodrome is being built, action and everything. And the action was scaled down from beating the crap out of people to more like jumping and, feats of excitement like that.
Yeah.
And so I think I was like, oh, it's not as like kick butt. But like the more I've been thinking about it, the more like I enjoyed the turtles actually getting like character moments and stuff. I enjoyed Raph being a character more than just being like a Raphael.
Just fighting.
So
sure.
And Leo, this was like probably the first time I've seen like Leo. No, TMNT, the CGI movie.
Yeah.
That one had a good Leo Raph plot.
Yeah.
So but Leo definitely got like
nice.
Like he learned a lesson.
You're trying to pull me in because of my love of Leonardo.
He,
Is that what
well,
you're doing
because
here?
he's
And the
he's
screenplay for this was written by Alexander McCall Smith.
Sure
Is that
was.
right?
Yeah, he's a big Turtles
great.
fan.
Wow, that's,
They're huge in Scotland.
Disclaimer: that's not true. He didn't.
But
write it.
anyways, we're showing the new Ninja Turtles movie. It's rated PG-13. It's a soft PG-13. I think the only reason they rated it PG-13 was because they gave Casey Jones, played by Stephen Amell, a bunch of swear words to say.
Okay.
He says swears and then punches some people.
Okay.
But if you took out Casey Jones,
Yeah.
it's a PG movie.
I see.
Maybe they put him in there because they wanted the PG-13.
Yeah,
because they thought it was
we
the
gotta
default.
amp this up again.
I think this.
Show someone smoking a cigarette.
All the other ones are PG, right? Even the '80s one that seems a lot more violent than it actually is.
But those are sort of. Doesn't that predate PG-13?
I don't know. Batman. No, the first Batman movie was PG-13, and that came first.
It did it? Oh, I think
In
Turtles-
89.
I thought Turtles was 88.
No, I think they're like 91.
Oh, okay.
So
I believe you.
I always remember it being more violent, but it's not that much.
Yeah.
Even though they do just beat up a bunch of teenagers.
do.
They're full-grown turtles beating up other
No,
teenagers.
they're teenagers.
That's true. They're teenagers
Just
beating up teenagers.
Teenagers beating up other
You're just
teenagers.
watching a school
Yeah.
rumble.
Yeah.
And then the Shredder
Yeah.
comes in and tries to
it's
murder those teens.
Childhood gang violence. So, that's
yeah.
great. That's what you want.
So yeah, if you have a bunch of kids that are super excited to watch the turtles in their new adventure,
Yeah.
I'd recommend this one.
Okay. Cool.
So, and that's it for kid stuff. What else is going on in the world of adults besides
Well-
getting ready for McCall Smith?
That's a lot of it. But on
Excuse you.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
we have a special, our annual Tai Chi on the Front Lawn event,
Ooh, yeah.
led by the master from Alfred from the Confucius Institute over there. She's going to come and lead a group on the front lawn. You don't have to sign up or anything. That's at 11 o'clock. Just show up and do some Tai Chi. It's great. We had a huge turnout last year. We had about 50 people. Big circle. So it was really nice.
That's true.
Yeah. Also, on that same day, the 5th, 3:30, we're talking Girl on the Train. That's a
Yeah.
book club. So that typically has signups, but if you want to come and talk with us, just come. Even if you
Yeah.
haven't signed up, that's fine. We'll make the room.
Talk about the book before you see the movie. Then go
That's
see the
right.
movie.
And then right after that, we'll end Girl on the Train and we'll pass out copies of Dean Koontz Frankenstein for our Halloween book club.
Yeah.
So you can join us for that
And then
as
we'll all
well.
hang out at Nick's house and watch I, Frankenstein,
Yeah,
starring Aaron Eckhart.
Sure. The other book club, Contemporary Classics, is reading through Emma. And
Yeah.
that will be right before Alexander McCall Smith is
Yeah.
here. That'll
Yeah.
be the Tuesday before.
Right on the cusp.
That's right. So that'll be Tuesday the 18th, also at 3:30. So you can join us for that.
Yeah.
We're showing
Also-
Casper.
Oh, yeah, the
We're
children.
showing
yeah.
the Christina Ricci, Bill Pullman,
Yeah.
hometown hero, local boy.
You've never seen this?
I love it.
No, you have seen it.
Yeah.
My wife has never seen
I
it.
love it.
Our children's librarian has never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, Bill Pullman, right? You said he's the
Yeah,
local hero.
he's right here. I
I
know.
thought it would have been required viewing
Yeah,
in
I
this
think
town.
so. Yeah. So anyway, we're showing that Monday the 10th. Yes, Monday the 10th at 3:30. You can see that. That's open for everyone. And then we're showing Spooky Buddies Saturday
Sure.
the 15th. So a
Yeah,
couple
if you
kids-
like the buddies, those little
Halloween
golden
movies for
retriever
ya.
puppies,
Yeah.
having adventures,
Yeah.
spooky buddies.
Yeah, lots of fun stuff going on.
Yeah, because they're spooky.
Yep. Next week, big number 60, 60th episode.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
coming in. So
the 70s.
no, we're gonna take a look at the 1960s.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like we did with our 50s
yeah,
one.
in literature and music and
Yeah.
probably milk and mayonnaise prices. Obviously, we'll have.
Yeah,
to
we need to
compare,
know
so-
how much mayonnaise was in the 1960s.
Definitely.
We'll need to know what exactly Don Draper was doing.
Well, yeah, we'll finally answer the question: how much was that jar of mayonnaise in 1964?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Other
so-
piece of library news.
Oh, well, okay.
Nick and myself, we got new glasses.
Yeah.
They can't see me. I just put my glasses on
Yeah,
to
you did.
really
I've
hammer
had
it home.
mine on for a while, but
Yeah, you've had yours on. Mine's actually kind of. I need to clean them.
whole time.
That's all. I mean, I guess it's not like the most important,
No,
but it feels important.
It's technically library news.
Yeah, it is.
So
If you're used to finding us based off of our
yeah,
glasses,
if you're describing our glasses to people,
changed.
take a look,
Yeah.
mister. All right, we will see you for our groovy 1960s episode next week.